Hi, my name is Emily Sabella. I am in the online humanities class, and I'm very excited to show you and present my PowerPoint. I did try to get my PowerPoint on my TV right there. It just was not working out. I don't know why. I think maybe because all my appliances are Apple TVs, not Apple TVs, Apple products, and my TV is a smart TV, so that could have been what it was. So I am going to be presenting this on my iPad. I will be submitting my PowerPoint on to along with my video. So like I said, this is my humanities PowerPoint project, and I am Emily Sabella. And I know we got to choose between a lot of different categories, a lot of different artists and stuff, and I actually did mine on an artist, and I did it on Leonardo da Vinci, actually. In my opinion, one of the most amazing artists to have ever lived, and I really do stand by that. I really love, he's one of my favorite, like, older artists, like, Renaissance time kind of artist. Also, I apologize if I sound weird. I am sick right now. I am like getting over like a cold. Sorry. His paintings are some of my favorite because his art was natural, and some of his most famous artworks are very figurative. I'm also slightly dyslexic. I am so sorry. He was also known as the Renaissance man because his genius crossed so many disciples back in the day. So here actually, let me just go back real fast. There you go. So this slide, I talked about Da Vinci's artworks, and I just mentioned 3. There are many more that he has done, and he has done many other things. So the 3 that I have talked about are the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and the Vitruvial Man. The first one I did was the Mona Lisa, and I said the Mona Lisa is one of Da Vinci's famous arts and is commonly known for is if she's smiling or not. I will go on later on that note later in my presentation, actually. I did find out some very cool things about that. Da Vinci exploited human optimal illusion, which is basically like it's right there in front of you, but somehow you still can't see it. To create a unique smile through perspective and by using shadow. This painting was also made in 1503. Very interesting indeed. The next one I did was The Last Supper. Another one of his famous paintings, also known as the Passover meal, actually, is the final meal that in the gospel accounts Jesus shared with his apostles in Jerusalem before his when he was crucified. Made in 1489. A lot of people don't realize that that meal was actually a Passover. A lot of people think that Jesus was like Catholic and he just had like a regular Easter dinner, but no, it was actually a Jewish Passover. And I myself actually am Catholic, so I see the Last Supper in a lot of churches that I go to. The one that I mainly go to actually has a stained glass window of the Last Supper, and I just think it's very, very beautiful. The last one that I'm going to talk about last painting I'm going to talk about is the Vitruvial Man. The Vitruvial Man is Da Vinci's own reflection on the human proportion an architect made clear through words and image. The purpose of the illustration is to bring together both art, architecture, human anatomy, and symmetry in one distinct and commanding image, actually. This painting is more of a drawing made in 1490. There is actually a book called the Da Vinci Code, and it's a murder book, and it's a very interesting book. I have not read it myself, but I've read lots of reviews about it. There's a lot of movies on the Da Vinci Code. If you are interested in that, definitely go look that up. I didn't have time to incorporate the book in here because it's not part of Da Vinci. Da Vinci did make the book himself, but here is the slide. And actually, this next slide is all of his paintings, actually. My light in my living room is a little bright. That first one is the Mona Lisa. The second one is the Vinci Real Man. And the last one is the Last Supper. The Last Supper is a horizontal painting. I couldn't get it horizontal. This is just a vertical page, unfortunately. So the next one I'm going to talk about is something I actually just completely went over in my head. I'm actually going to talk about Da Vinci's inventions. A lot of people I sometimes forget that Da Vinci did create a lot of things that we do use today. Actually, the very first one I'm going to talk about is the parachute. I actually did not know that Da Vinci invented the parachute. He didn't invent it per se, in a sense. The parachute had already been actually invented, but Da Vinci saw the drawing of it, and he thought that he could actually make a better one. And he did create a better sketch in his Codex again, dyslexic. I am so sorry. Alatanticus. Okay. Which basically was just his long lost notebook of all his inventions and paintings and stuff. He also did get help from it from an inventor named Fausto Fernanzo. I think that's how you say his name. Yes. The next one is actually, I see this one a lot. I've seen this one a lot, but I always forget that Da Vinci has actually created the aerial screw. It's also interesting to me. This screw was used to move water from a canal or water source to an area of higher ground. For the aerial screw to work, though, 4 men had to be on it to push the wooden shafts at the same time. They just kind of had to keep it moving. I don't know if you've ever seen Beauty and the Beast, but she kind of has a giant wheel full of water going around and around and around. That's kind of on the same way, but kind of not. And the last invention that I'm going to talk about him, again, he does have a lot more inventions than this. I did just happen to mention 3. Okay. Sorry, again, sick. Another one of his inventions is the, I cannot do this one, I don't think. Ornithopter. I hope I said that correctly. Which is a device that flies by flapping wings instead of, it flaps like a bird, basically. There is no rotation involved. Instead of rotation, like other flying machines, like airplanes, helicopters, stuff like that, the ornithopter's wings imitates the reciprocating motion of a bird's wing. This was one of the very first flying machines that Da Vinci did make, and it wasn't extremely successful, but it did get slightly off the ground. And now this last slide actually was my favorite one to make. It is actually 3 interesting facts about Da Vinci. Even though the first one is a little on the sadder side, it's not exactly fun. But Da Vinci was an unplanned child, extremely unplanned in the sense that he was birthed out of wedlock, which was not good back in the day, which means he was, my language, he was a bastard child in a sense. Da Vinci was the love child of a lawyer and a peasant, so he was never intentionally planned, like I said. He was brought up in royal Tuscany and sent to Florence in his teen years to become an apprentice, actually. And this next one is actually very interesting because I did not know this at all. He did not receive any formal education about art. He actually was first being trained as a musician, and it was simply just being homeschooled. He did not know anything about art. He was just being homeschooled the entire time. He trained under the Florentine painter Andrea del Vercillo. I hope I said that right. I don't think I did. And spent his days observing nature, which are featured in his works. The Mona Lisa in his works, you know, like a lot of times you see he has like nature in his backgrounds. And this last one, I told you to keep on waiting for about the Mona Lisa, and here it is. The Mona Lisa is in fact smiling, actually. It's very interesting. I know this has been a top topic. If she is or smiling, if she is or isn't, but using facial recognition software, researchers determined that she is 83% happy, which doesn't sound a lot, but in the end, that she was smiling. So that is my PowerPoint on Da Vinci. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.